Hi everyone, welcome back to the Aquarian Alchemist Tarot, and today we're going to do a reading, pick a card reading, and the theme today is going to be what is your next move on your soul journey. So I'm going to be using 4 decks today. The last reading I did, I just used these 3. But I'm going to do a similar to last reading where I used the I Am card as the card that you choose. I'll do 3 piles, and then we'll also add in the Starseed Oracle cards, maybe 3 this time instead of just 2, and then we'll finish up with tarot, and then we'll use this deck, the Rider-Waite deck, if we need additional messages from Spirit. So I've already pre-shuffled. I'm just going to move these ones aside out of the way. We're going to get started with the I Am cards here. And I'm also going to add in stones. And I know that for the last video, I'm just going to shuffle while I'm talking. For the last video, I said that I would add timestamps. Now I did add the time that you could skip to, but I did not link it because I didn't know how to do it on my phone. I don't think it's a possibility to do that when you're uploading from the iPhone app or the YouTube app. So I'm going to figure that out and I will add it for this video. Okay. So we're going to start pile number 1. Pile number 2. Pile number 3. I'm just going to move these out of the way for now. Okay. I'm going to turn those over. The first card we have is I am courageous. I act bravely in the face of adversity. And pile number 2, I am elevated. My awareness is always expanding as I rise to my highest good. That's a good card. And the last one, pile number 3, I am creative. I tap into my imagination and design my own unique path. Okay, and I will link all the piles or the card decks that I'm using in the description box in case you're interested. All right, so I'm going to add in the stones now. So I have a lot of stones and I am not always good at remembering what they are. I do have a rock identifier, so I've identified this as Aventurine, but if you are a rock expert or a gem expert and I'm incorrect, please do let me know. So, but for now we're gonna call that Aventurine. I'm just gonna put it right above. This one was identified as a Lapis Lazuli, but there are a couple others that it could be as well. And I used to have the sheet that had all the names of the rocks that I bought in this little package, but unfortunately I don't have that anymore. So Lapis Lazuli. Actually, I think this, I'm just being called to put this with pile number 2. It just looks better, I think. This Aventurine looks good with this one, and I'm going to go with Turquoise for the pile number 2. All right, yeah, I think that makes more sense to me. Okay, so pick your pile, and then I will, if you want to skip to your timestamp, you can do that now. Otherwise, if you want to watch me going through and adding the cards, the other cards to the pile, if you like that stage, then you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and add in, I'm just going to go ahead and give these another shuffle. I'm thinking that I might add in another affirmation card. We'll see. If we need, I guess if we need more guidance, we could always add it in. Okay. So I'm going to do 3 cards for each. The colors of these really look good together. Okay, there we go. And we're going to move on to this is the Divine Tarot of the Divine. This is a deck that I got on Amazon recently. It is a standard 78 card tarot deck, and it follows the same, all the same cards. The only difference is the pictures are a little bit different. It's derived from folklore, deities, and fairy tales from around the world. Very beautiful deck. And they call, instead of the suit that is normally pentacles is called coins instead. So that's the only difference. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to do an extra shuffle on this one just to make sure that it's nicely mixed up. These cards are, compared to my old Rider Waite deck, these cards are still need to be worked in. All right. Actually, one thing I wanted to do is just ask Spirit to be with us for this reading, and please help pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3 with answering the question of what is next in their soul journey. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna do, I'm gonna do 6 cards for each. And then if we need to, then we'll go to the other deck for confirmation and just to have kind of a variety of different imagery. Okay, I'm gonna put that deck over here for now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move these other piles to the side. We'll get started with the first reading. Hi, pile number 1. All right, let's get started with your reading. You chose I Am Courageous. Okay, so let's see what we have for you with your cards. I don't want to move this too far, but I want to be able to see the other cards as well. Okay. So we have Lost Lands. This is from the Starseed Oracle deck. Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. Okay. Nice. So far I'm liking it. Surrender to the sweetness. Venus energy. Pleasure, joy, make love to life. Okay. The Void. Wow. That's a kind of an ominous card. Stop. Embrace winter. Great cosmic wound. Okay. I think I see where that's going. Okay, let's see your tarot cards. Actually, I'm going to... All right. We have the Ace of Cups. Temperance. Knight of Swords. Oh, this is my favorite card in the whole deck. The Magician. These are some strong cards here. Three of Cups. That's a beautiful card too. Just gonna move that out of the way. And the last but not least, the Tower. Holy. Okay. I'm going to try to just overlap these slightly so that I can fit them all in nicely to the frame. All right. Okay, give me just a moment to just observe what we have here so that I can interpret what kind of a message Spirit is trying to send to you for the next step in your soul journey. So, judging by the card that you chose, I am courageous. This could be a quality that you're already channeling very strongly. This could be an energy that you're already comfortable embodying. So this is good. This means that you're likely already on track. You may not have a lot of questions at this point. You may have been, I get the sense that you're already pretty good at manifesting what you want. That tends to come easily to you. And you may have been through some tough times in your life. I get the sense that you've been through some traumas and you have, always figured out a way to overcome those tough situations in your life with courage, with bravery. Whenever you meet with adversity, you're there, ready to challenge, or ready to take on the challenges of life, I should say. And then we move on to the Lost Lands, Soul Memories and Gifts. You've done this before. So that could be why in this incarnation, because I believe that we have many, because our soul comes back to learn different lessons in each lifetime that we didn't learn in the previous lifetimes or didn't do the way we wanted to. We want a do-over, right? So what I'm getting from this one is that your ancestors are trying to help you to remember that this is not your first rodeo, which is why you chose a life that's a little bit more challenging this time around. You may have felt like, why am I constantly, encountering these tough situations? Sorry, my cat. Why am I always in such turmoil? Why does everybody else have it so easy and to me it seems hard? So it may be because we've all done this before. So I think what your ancestors are trying to tell you is that you have the ability to remember why you came here. You may have a lot of deja vu. Like, it feels familiar, it feels like maybe I've been here before. It's because you have. And beginning to recognize these situations and these patterns and these different energies is meant to trigger it's meant to trigger the familiar. This happened before and I did it this way, and that wasn't what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to do it this way. So being able to recognize those patterns, you have the ability to choose differently, to respond differently, and not from a place of, anger or lower vibration, vengeance, hatred, guilt, shame, jealousy, So just being able to make the higher choice that your soul really wants you to make. Surrender to sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So with this card, I really think that your soul guides are trying to tell you, stop taking life so seriously. You came here to learn, yes, but you also came here to enjoy yourself, and maybe you're pushing yourself a little too hard. So maybe you just need to kind of relax and take time to really be present and be in the moment, and not force yourself to do things that you really don't want to do, and just take time to recharge your batteries. With the void, it's also telling you to stop, to embrace winter, which, you know, obviously summer for the majority of people, spring, summer, early fall, like those warmer months, if you live somewhere, especially in the northern hemisphere, where you get winter. I'm somewhere where we get winter with snow and cold, and you know, it's long. It's the longest kind of season that we have here. And so summer, like that nice warm weather, the long days, we really, like, I really try to embrace that while it's happening. But it's telling you embrace winter. So winter is kind of that period of incubation, of hibernation, of waiting for, you know, something to be born. Like the baby is in utero for 9 months, developing and getting ready, and then in the end, so yeah, it says great cosmic womb. So something is building inside you, something big, something, you know, maybe new skills are developing, or will develop soon. And so, but you just need that sort of patience, trust, faith that the good things are coming, but you can't stay in a place of lack, because when you stay in a place of lack, like, oh, they're not here yet, I want this, but it, you know, it's not in my life, and things come into your life when you act as if they're already there. Everything is already here if you think about it, because the past doesn't really exist. And neither does the future. We only ever really have this now moment. And yes, we can have memories of things that we did when we were 5 or 6 or 7, and they happened in the now moment, but they're still here. That's not what we're experiencing anymore. It's kind of like a radio frequency. You know, there's so many different radio stations you can listen to. They're all happening now, but you just have to tune the dial, right? So I used to listen to this podcast, and he used to always say, your fifth birthday is happening now on a different channel, but you're not tuned into it because you've already been there, you've already done that. Now you're in this now moment. So it's a little bit kind of difficult to conceptualize because it's not kind of mainstream teachings, but I really think that good things are coming for you, and you just have to be patient and act as if they're already here. Continue to be grateful and thankful and appreciative of what you want, and what you already have, and eventually it will come when the time is right. There's always a right time. And that's what I kind of get with the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, or the aces, signify new beginnings. It's the start of the deck, right? It's one. It's number 1. So Ace of Cups, this cup is being filled up. It's not being emptied, and it almost looks like it's filling it up with like a gold liquid. So something really good is coming into your life. Your cup is being filled, and this could be energy if you've been feeling really low, if you've been feeling, you know, if you've been unwell. The universe is always willing and ready to fill up your cup, but you have to offer the cup and have it ready. Sometimes there's too much in our cup already. Let's say our cup is filled with juice, and we prefer to drink water. But if your cup is filled to the top with juice, you have no room for water. You need to let some things go. You need to let some of this stuff that's no longer appetizing or desirable to you to spill out so that it can be refilled with something you prefer. It's the same with at a buffet. If you have a plate full of food and you eat some of the food, but then you want to go back and try different things, but you still have a bunch of food left on your plate, well, you know, you could eat it and maybe not have space, or you can throw it out and start with a new plate, or you can add to the plate that you already have. There's lots of options to you. So moving on to temperance. Temperance is about balance. So it's possible that you need to balance in your life, or maybe you already have good balance. Just depends kind of where you're at in your journey, but I get the sense that balance is forthcoming to you. And if you think about it, like this card is a little bit different than the one in the traditional deck, but she's trying to balance so many things. And if you are a busy parent, or a busy working person, you may be multitasking a lot of different things. And I know that technology can be something that really kind of impedes our focus. It really can dominate our attention because it's, you know, it can be addictive. There's a lot of information that we in the past were not really able to get other ways, and it's all consuming, and we sometimes just need to remember just to, like, all of her arms are doing different things, but she's got two arms in prayer and she's focused here. So maybe what this is signifying is that let the universe kind of take care of the details, and you focus on being present. And yeah, and that's what I get from that. Like, she's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot out. So she's balanced in her posture. Knight of Swords. So this is a motion card for sure. This is action. Like, this knight is on a mission, and so you may have something come up soon that requires you to take action. It could be a new project, something at work. It could be an emergency. I hope it's not something, you know, something bad, but, you know, part of our journey is encountering different challenges, and that could be, you know, the loss of a loved one, unfortunately, or illness for you or somebody you know, somebody you care about. But the important thing to really remember is always to keep faith that everything will turn out, because worrying and fear does the opposite. It doesn't help. It makes you feel worse. And I know that one of our human needs is certainty, but I believe uncertainty is also a need. So it's got to be a balance between a little bit of uncertainty to keep us kind of interested and not sure what's going to happen next. And I know there's people that really that's not for them. They prefer to know. They like that control. We need to be aware too of when we're controlling a little too much, but having a balance between certainty and uncertainty is really important. I find having faith in a higher power, whatever higher power that you believe in, is very, very key to feeling safe and secure no matter what's going on the news. I try not to watch the news, but you know, it's hard to ignore all the chaos that's going on around us. It's going to be, I think, a few years of kind of everything falling apart, crumbling, all the old systems crumbling, and then the rebuilding can begin. So I get the sense that you're going to be a big part of that with this card charging in. You may be advocating for rights. You may be protesting peacefully. So something big is coming. There's some movement action there. The Magician, wow, this is my favorite card. And this is just about transformation, about manipulation in a good way, positive, benevolent manipulation of the divinity within you. Because the power that she uses, the wand, as a conductor of her own energetic power. The power doesn't come from outside of her, and the power doesn't come from the wand. The power comes from her, from our hearts, from our chakras, from our body. We are made of energy, and she is using this as a conductor. And I don't think that the wand is necessarily always needed. I believe that people have the power to heal with their hands. I think it just depends. I've yet to fully develop that power in myself, but I do believe that I have that power. I believe we all have different types of powers. I think we do all have the same potential, but I think some powers are more developed, or more what's the word, they want to come through more for one individual and a different power coming through for another individual. It just depends on kind of what your purpose is. So somebody whose purpose is here to heal others, they may be empathic. They may be able to feel other people's energy so that they know how they're feeling, and then they can direct the energy with their manipulating with their hands. So there's other people that may be able to move objects, clairvoyance, telekinesis, psychic, so talk to spirits. And I think reading tarot is another sort of intuitive gift that we all have the ability to do, but for some of us it calls to us and for others it doesn't. So that may be something for you to look into. Maybe there are some gifts that you have not yet to, or you have yet to develop, and that's coming for you. And I get the sense that this, this could lead to a celebration. Like, you've been waiting for the opportunity to find your people. Maybe you've found them already, or maybe you're waiting for those people to come into your life. Keep if they haven't come into your life, keep asking. They will. Imagine what it would be like to have those people that just you could easily talk to about your beliefs and share common likes and common goals and commonality in your abilities. Maybe somebody that you want to work with, or somebody that you're looking for to spend your life with, a partner, a travel partner, could be a business partner, but it looks like something's going to be celebrated. And 3 is a good number. It's a divine number, Trinity. And these ladies look very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very ornate, very fancy, and it looks like something celebratory is coming into your life. But with the Tower card, something's coming to an end. It could be a pretty abrupt end. It might be a relationship. It looks like this one might have been taken from Rapunzel. And so there might be some people that are leaving your life, or some sort of kind of tumultuous energy may come up for you. Let's do a few more cards just to get a little bit of clarity. Spirit, can you give us a little bit of clarity on what might be coming, that might not be, or what might be coming next? We need a little bit of clarity on the Tower card. Okay, oh, that one just kind of popped out there. Oh, Temperance came up again. So, okay. Let's see. I'm just going to shift these up slightly. so what we got was the Hanged Man. And we got Temperance again. That's kind of good that you can see the difference. So this was our Temperance card here. And this is our Temperance card. And as you can see, her foot is in the water. And I know there's a lot about balance. This one has the irises, which I believe was a sign of peace. Am I thinking that correctly? Or maybe that's the lilies. Okay. So what I'm getting here, this is something, so he's tied up, but he has the power to set himself free. But first he needs to surrender. So there may be something that's going on inside you that you've been resisting. I'm not sure what that could be. It could be balance in your life that you're resisting, because the balance is coming up again. Temperance. So look at the areas where you may be resisting change. You may be trying to control certain aspects of your life. You may be trying to control other people. A lot of the time when we feel like things are not going well in our lives, it's likely because we're gripping, we're holding on, we're trying to make the outside different while remaining the same inside. But it's the opposite. It's the inside of us that has to change for the outside to be different. And that is hard, because when we're constantly perceiving outside, it's not right, I don't like it, I want it to be different, it's difficult to want to change inside because you're in such a state of anxiety. But I think this is where it's balance work and rest, and make sure you're getting enough rest. Make sure you're exercising as much as you can, even if it's just going for a walk. Take time to be outside. It's very important to be outside. Get your sunlight, get your vitamin D. And even if you're going outside, you should be taking vitamin D as a supplement. It is so important. Get enough water. Eat as healthy as a diet as you can. I know it's not easy, but just balance. Okay. And the Hermit. To me, this says, like, there may be times on your journey where you feel lonely. It's normal. You may feel like, everything is just dim and dark. This could be a dark night of the soul coming. Maybe you've already been through it. I think sometimes it can happen more than once. But the thing to remember is that nothing lasts forever. So as much as you can be in the moment, balance, and just remember that it's not going to last forever. Everything eventually will be okay. So that is it for you, pile number 1. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you chose the I Am Creative Affirmation card, along with the Lapis Lazuli. Okay. Great card. Beautiful colors in that. All right, so let's get a look at your cards. Your oracle cards. We have the 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, Expression. We have the Activated Earth, Power Places, Ley Lines, Trust Where You're Led. The Great Severing, Mars Energy, Anger, Conflict, Softening to Love. Okay, now we're going to look at your tarot cards. Constantly adjusting. Okay. First card is the Four of Wands. Three of Coins. The Moon. Two of Wands. Knight of Cups. Two of Cups. Just going to move this down a little bit. Okay, this is a beautiful reading. Let me just take a look here. Spirit, help me to decipher this message. What does pile number two's, what's the next move in pile number two's soul journey? Okay, so you chose I am creative. And to me, this means that with the I am cards, it's either this is something you already identify with, or it's something, it's a quality that you want to begin to embody. So this may have spoke to you because you already feel like a very creative person. I think this is the most likely option, is that you've already mastered your craft. You have a talent, a creative talent. It might be many things. It might be you're a creative artist, or a graphic designer, or a musician. So you have that talent that comes very naturally to you. But you may be wondering what's the next step for that, or how do I develop it further, or how do I turn it into a career? Maybe you're just doing it as a hobby, and you want to forge a unique path. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You want to sort of start something new. And that may be something along the lines of helping people. Like, how can my art or my music help people either wake up, or how can I help change the world for the better, or how can I get the sense that it's not just for you anymore. It's not just service to self, which may have been the last period of time that you've really just been developing your skills and trying to make things work for you. But I get the sense that now you want to, although you may want to figure out a way to how to make a living doing this if you're not already, you also want to give back. You want to help. You want to be there for people in a larger scale. Like, you want to help as many people as possible, sort of in a grand scale. With the Seven Sisters, birthing creations. So that's also like talking about things that are coming out of you. So maybe I really feel like a lot of creativity and everything really that we do that is from a place of love really comes from source, really comes from spirit. So figuring out how to take the ideas and the inspirations that are inside of you as part of your divine or your divinity, and share them with the world. Because when things come from this place, when you create from a place of love, when you create from a place of wanting to help people, when you create from that place of divinity within you, it has such a reverberation across not just the world, but the galaxy, the you know, across galaxies, it can really make a massive impact. So there's expression, tapestry of life, like it's part of the foundation of who we are, what we are as humans. But this one is telling us, like, although, you know, there's the cosmic foundations of our creation, we need to be grounded too, because you're here on earth, and you need to be grounded. And if you're always just up in your head, your body's not grounded. Well, to create in material, like to bring things into the material world, like from your mind, which is energetic, out into the material world, you need to be here grounded in, like, in matter. So power places, so finding somewhere where you can meditate, where you can walk in the grass with your, like when it's nice outside, walk in the grass barefoot. Be barefoot as much as you can be. I know it might seem weird, but it's really important because shoes block your connection with the earth. You need to be grounded. Just sit on a bed, put your feet on the floor, close your eyes, imagine roots coming out of your feet, the bottoms of your feet. You can also imagine from your tailbone, a root coming out from your tailbone, extending down into the floor, down through however many levels, into your basement, through your basement floor, into the center of the earth, wrapping around something, securing down there, whether it be a piece of rock or whatever, just tying a knot, and then you're grounded. The great severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. So you may be in a period of duality. A lot of us are. And it's really important to feel our feelings, but then come back to love. Feel the anger, acknowledge the anger, be angry in a safe way, and then begin to come back to love slowly with your thoughts, with your heart, with, you know, apologizing if you've snapped at somebody or yelled at somebody. Just, you know, apologizing to yourself if you've been unkind to yourself, asking for forgiveness, you know, if you're a believer, and just really making amends. But learning, softening to love, just learning it's not all serious. Like, you're not condemned just because you've made a mistake. Let go of the guilt, let go of the shame, ask for forgiveness, you're forgiven. It's that simple. And just keep doing that. Keep doing that. I know conflict comes up. We all have conflicts in our life. It is important to speak up for yourself, not to keep your truth inside. There are ways to speak your truth without hurting other people intentionally in a mean way. You can be firm. You can set boundaries. It's very important. You can say no. I know this is hard. I struggle with this as well. It's okay to say no, but there's a way to do everything that comes from a place of love. But it's also not you who's responsible for how the other person receives your energy. You're only responsible for how you put out your energy, and the other person is responsible for how they receive it. The same thing goes. However they put out their energy, you're responsible for how you receive that. And sometimes, you know, it's easier said than done. But okay, so Four of Wands. It looks like there could be somebody important coming into your life, somebody that you will adore, or somebody that's already in your life that you adore. And it looks like you have some differences. I mean, obviously they have different skin colors, but look at the love between them. Like, if we think about it, like, we are all, every single human has the same red blood. The blood type may not be the same, but the blood type has nothing to do with the color of our skin. You know, there could be people who have dark skin and light skin, same blood type. So, you know, even I'm sure in some other place there's different species that are in love, and love really doesn't have a boundary unless we like it, as far as, you know, what's acceptable. It's all acceptable as long as we have that real love, and we just allow it to be what it is, and just, you know, just embrace it. So that is something that either you already have this in your life, or it's coming soon. So just be patient and just imagine it and just begin to feel it. What would it feel like to have that person who you just lovingly look into their eyes, and that never, you know, that feeling doesn't go away for them. This one looks like you're having a good time. You've got some it looks like you've got some kind of demons or teachers in your life that can frustrate you, like, you know, maybe it's a boss or a partner, but you're just taking it all in stride. It's like you're not holding on too tight, you're not taking it too seriously. You're having a good time, and you're working with the energy. You're not working against it. You're flowing with the river. You're not trying to paddle upstream. So it seems like you've got a good hold on, you know, on your journey and your lessons that are coming. You're able to recognize the lessons when they come. With this one, I get the feeling that maybe you're in a period of reflection, or you need to have a period of reflection. You need to take some time just for you. Maybe you need to have a vacation. Maybe you just need to go for a walk every day to clear your head after work. Maybe you have kids and, you know, life is really busy. You need to take a bath at the end of the day, even though you feel like you don't have time. Maybe you need to begin meditation practice. Just 5 minutes a day sitting quietly. I know it's hard to fit it in. I know that it takes discipline to really get into that habit, but that's something that the spirit guides seem to be sharing with us, that your soul needs time to reflect on where you're at and where you're going. So this one, it kind of looks like you're looking in two different directions. Like, you know, maybe you haven't made up your mind which direction you want to go. Maybe there's two options and you like them both, and you're kind of looking one way and the other and not sure. You're at a crossroads, it looks like. Maybe that's why you clicked on this video. I hope I can answer a little bit of, you know, what the next steps are, because that's where we're going with this reading. But yeah, you're kind of at a crossroads, I think, and you're not sure. Maybe it's what type of life do you want to lead. It kind of looks like one of them is a little bit older, more successful, and this is kind of where he's starting out. So maybe it's an issue with, do you want to kind of keep going with the status quo life that you've had for a very long time, or do you want to take a step to the next level kind of thing? But that's scary because you don't know where it will lead you. You don't know how it will change you. So let's see what's coming. It looks like you're embarking on a journey that you're feeling strong, unsure, but you're feeling like you've made the decision. It looks like you're going to make that decision to go forward with the next step. And that could be taking a jump into the unknown, which can be scary. You may be choosing to go into a life of service to others, and that's something that you're a little bit worried about. But you've got your guides, you've got your tools. You do have the tools and the skills and the strength. You've got creativity on your side. So it's just about making that decision and listening to your heart and following your intuition. Your intuition will never steer you wrong as long as you're quiet and listening. You'll hear the call that you're meant to follow. This one here, 2 of Cups. This one I'm not sure about.
This one may be maybe somebody you have to leave behind. Maybe that's what's hard about the decision, is that you're outgrowing relationships. That can sometimes happen on the soul, on the spiritual journey, is that you change, other people don't. Well, maybe they change in on their journey, and you kind of evolve away from one another in your beliefs or in your lifestyle choices. You know, maybe you've decided to give up an addiction, and there's people in your life that are still using those substances, and so it's really hard to be around them because you don't have that in common anymore. Let's get a couple more cards just to clarify things. Spirit, give us a little bit more guidance on this last card, Two of Cups. We're just a little bit curious on what's going on there. Okay. I'm just going to turn right over. Oh, okay. Well, that's good news. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to blow up one of my candles. Okay, so this card looks like Spirit's trying to tell you, yes, maybe some relationships you'll have to leave behind, but in the end, you will find your person, you will be happy, you will have people, your people around you, people that, not that we're not all, like we're not all created equal, it's just that, you know, we all have people that we resonate with, and there's you'll come to know your tribe. You'll know your soul family, the people that, you know, maybe you've spent other lifetimes with, and they just feel very familiar and very comforting. So that's coming. The other thing I noticed is that blue skies all across the cards that we got, and we've got lots of yellow and happy colors. So that means that, you know, even though there may be some sadness coming, some uncertainty coming, in the end, it will be good. This one tells me that there may have to be some balance in your finances, perhaps, because it's pentacles or coins. So you may need to consider how you can set yourself up for success financially. There is infinite abundance out there, but we just have to really claim it and realize that there's enough to go around. There's more than enough to go around, but a lot of us have this lack. And then there's the people that don't have this belief in lack. They believe in abundance, and they're the ones that have all the money, but they only have all the money because they know what, or they believe what we don't about themselves. They believe that they're abundant and that their income and their finances can be infinite. And that's true for all of us. But if we just believe that only, you know, a select amount of elite people, you know, can control all the money, and I know there's a lot of different things in place that kind of keeps that going, but if we all change our beliefs and realize that there's more than enough to go around for all of us, we can all be, we don't have to have some of us in poverty, a majority of the world in poverty, and then some people having way more than they need. It doesn't have to be that way. So, but we need to make the change inside us. We can't expect the billionaires to just want to give up their money and give it to the less fortunate. That's probably not the way it's going to work. Queen of Cups, you will be successful. You have it within you, and you will, you know, you will manifest what you need, but don't be too cynical about it. Be gracious, be grateful, and just know that you will manifest what you need in life, but you need to believe in you and your abilities. Okay, Pile number 2, thank you so much for joining me. Give us a like if you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button if you want to receive updates when I post a new video. Bye, pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for joining me, and you chose I Am Elevated. So this is a card of expansion, which is great. It's what we need right now, more people focused on expanding consciousness. We are all expanding, but some people are just more aware of it. Inner Earth. You'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Okay, already off to a good start. I love the way that the colors of these cards just go together perfectly. Star Ancestors. Okay. Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom. Look a little deeper. And we've got We the Hathors, Deep Love, Mother's Milk, Birth as a Portal. Okay. Just going to shift these up slightly so I have enough space. Keep everything nice. Okay. Here's your tarot cards. 7 of Cups. The Emperor. Okay. This is looking good. Ace of Coins. The Lovers. I love that card. Oh, 8 of Swords. Five of Swords. Okay. I'm just going to move these down because I want to see the... Okay, let's take a look at your reading. Always adjusting. Okay. Highest good. Okay, so you chose the Turquoise and the I Am Elevated. Highest good. So I get the feeling from your affirmation card choice that you are really motivated to take things to the next level. You have a pretty clear idea of what your purpose is. You're pretty, I would say, like you may have been on this ascension path. I mean, we're always on the ascension path, all of us, but I feel like you have been on this path for quite a while. You've probably gone through your dark night of the soul. You're feeling empowered. You've come out the other side. You've probably gone down the deep, dark rabbit holes of what could be, you know, the darkness in the world, the things that might be happening that not everybody knows about, not everybody believes. And that can be a very isolating time. That can be a place that you kind of lose yourself a little bit in the darkness, dark night. You lose track of who you are. You kind of like, what is going on here? What am I doing here? Why did I come? Why did I, like, you probably realize you've chosen to be here. You've chosen to incarnate. You chose a lot of the aspects, if not all the aspects of your life. You know, color of your skin, color of your hair, color of your eyes, who your parents are, who your siblings are if you have them. You know, what are the circumstances? You know, maybe if you came into this life with a disability, maybe if you came into this life and had some trauma. Like, I really do believe we kind of pre-program this stuff for ourselves from a higher perspective before we come into a body. Like, this is what I want to work on in this life. These are the circumstances that I think will help me achieve that. Because when things are under pressure, that's when we grow, right? So if you're looking for soul growth, which I believe all souls are, you probably, like, you've been here before. You've programmed yourself to have kind of a challenging life so that you could wake up sooner and be part of the light warrior crew, the Starseed crew, that like we are moving consciousness forward in this life. I don't know, you know, obviously it's an ongoing thing, but you know, you're like this time I am there. And it says you'll survive this inner earth. Like it's all about what's inside of us. And I keep telling myself this as well, like work on you, work on you. And yes, I'm trying to help other people outside of me, but when I work on me, when you work on you, that's when we have the most influential effect on people in a very positive way. When we raise our vibration, when we work on us, when we meditate, when we take care of ourselves, when we put up strong boundaries, then we positively influence the people around us. They pay attention. They may not be saying anything to you, they may just be watching you, but they are paying attention to what you're doing and how you're acting and how you make them feel. Very important. New solutions and beginnings. So there may be some sort of a crossroads. You may be starting over at this point. Hidden secrets. There may be things that you have not tapped into yet. There may be powers, you know, abilities that you have that it says look a little deeper. Lost wisdom. We come into this life agreeing to forget. I think there are some people that come into life remembering more than others, but I think that almost done. I think there are others that come to their memory sooner than others, and then there might be people that remember a lot of things, especially in childhood. Sometimes I've heard that children come in remembering past lives, and then as people kind of tell them, no, that's not true, that didn't happen, they begin to kind of like forget that they had that connection with their past lives. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So to me, this is something that you need to tap into. Maybe you have a mother wound or a father wound, probably mother because it mentions mother, but something that you need to kind of go back and address. Maybe trauma that you had in childhood. Do maybe a little bit of inner child work, just really loving the parts of yourself that had a very hard time at certain points in your life. Birth as a portal. Just really taking good care of yourself, taking care of yourself the way that you would want somebody to take care of you. And it looks like from the 7 of Cups that you have some good things coming to you, and I get the sense that there may be some overwhelm, like things happen quickly and you're like, wow, how is this my life? Like, how did I manifest this? Like, what's going on? But you just really need to enjoy it. If something good comes into your life, don't try to wish it away or tell yourself you're not worthy. You earned this and you deserve this, and you came into this life to have everything, everything be good. It's our birthright to have a good life. It's not that we won't have challenges, but you do deserve to have a happy life and a bountiful life. And we all deserve that. There's enough for everyone. Okay. The Emperor. So some sort of mentor could be coming into your life, or father figure, somebody, or perhaps you're going to fulfill that role for somebody, but I get the sense that it's somebody's gonna come and kind of be your guide. It could be spirit guides, but it also may be somebody in the flesh, in a body, a person coming into your life. And it may not be a male, it may be a female with strong masculine energy. They will be firm with you, but they will give you exactly what you need in terms of a teacher, and they will be there. Sometimes they um, sometimes there can be like a grumpy grandpa, but he really does love you. He's just hard on you because he wants you to come to your true potential, and he doesn't want to be too easy on you. He wants you to really come into your own. So that could be yeah, that could be a person coming into your life soon, or they may already be there and maybe don't realize it. But if that's something that you are looking for, really just try to envision that figure and how they would change your life, how they would change your perspective, how things could shift for you if they do appear. And yeah, there's some sort of new beginning. Ace signifies beginnings, and it's the coins. So there could be some sort of financial change for you if um, and that could have something to do with the something good that's coming into your life. So there may be some financial gain, and that's okay. Money is not evil. It's the love of money over other things that is the root of evil. When money is more important than other people, like when money takes the highest spot, it's supposed to be really like God and your connection with spirit is the most important thing. And I know sometimes it's hard to imagine that God, your connection with God or spirit or universe could be more important than other people in your life. But it's not, it's that it should be that way for everybody. God, because you are a piece of God. So if you cut off that connection, if that is not a main part of your life, and you're not trying to come back to your connection with God in each moment that you can, you're really cutting yourself off from a lot of love, a lot of help, a lot of guidance. So I think that just remember, money is okay. Money can help you do a lot of good things, but it is not the most important thing. It is not the most important thing to you. And I think when you try to achieve a goal when money is your main objective, it's going to be it may be a harder road. Not for everybody, but I do think that it's important to keep your priorities straight and keep kind of the hierarchy of importance in mind. The Lovers, so could be somebody important coming into your life as well in that department. Maybe it's a renewed relationship with yourself. Maybe it's a renewed relationship with spirit. Um, it could be it could be it could be any of those, really. You just have to kind of take a look and see what it is you're lacking. Like what area do you feel, although I feel like that can only come in when you are at a place where you don't feel you're lacking anything. Like even if you're living alone, maybe you're divorced, or maybe you haven't met that person, or maybe you have all those people around you, kids and husband or wife, but you just don't have that great relationship with yourself. Or maybe the one thing that's missing is your relationship with source. So try to think about that, like which part is not plugged in. And I think when you figure out and plug it in, then that beauty can come into your life and that love can really blossom. And we have the Eight of Swords, and with this one I get the sense that there may be some sadness. You may have some mental health issues that come up, as we all do, anxiety, depression. I heard I myself have suffered from anxiety in the past and have been able to really heal naturally from those types of energetic patterns. But I heard something interesting, that depression was living a lot in the past, something in the past that wasn't resolved, and anxiety was worrying about the future, and the place where you could come back into balance is just being in the present. And it's difficult because we're just kind of programmed to either be afraid of what's coming or upset about what happened, and judging ourselves or judging others for how things went down and what we didn't like about it. But can you imagine if we thought only about what we liked about what happened and what we hoped will come in the future, and just fear was not a part of it? That would be kind of nice. So it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to take time to be alone and to reflect, and just know that everything, in the end, everything will be okay. And here's another card of sort of sadness with the Five of Swords. You could be kind of looking outward and maybe blaming others for things that happen in your life. And it's not to say that others don't say or do things that affect us in a negative way, but I think we always really have a choice on how we perceive what happens. And we do have, as humans, the tendency to have thoughts come into our head, to tell stories about something that's happening or that happened or that we think will happen, and that really kind of clouds our judgment and how we feel about that person or those people. So I think really taking time to reflect. I'm gonna draw a few more cards just to get a little bit of clarity. Source, if you could just give us a little bit of clarity on the last two cards, the Eight of Swords and the Five of Swords. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, I'm just gonna do an extra. This is my oldest deck, so these ones shuffle really nicely. Okay, I'm gonna take 3 more cards and we'll see what they say. Okay, so we've got the Two of Cups, Ace of Swords, and Four of Wands. Okay, so these are very auspicious cards, I would say. We've got the Two of Cups, so we have balance. We have the male and female energy, or masculine and feminine energy. So there's balance there. There's duality, but it seems like an amicable kind of situation. Duality is kind of necessary in the third dimension, in 3D. It's part of how we get things, from what I've learned. And so it is important to balance, like the yin and the yang, like they balance each other out, right? Dark and light. If we didn't have light, we wouldn't know. If we didn't have darkness, we wouldn't be able to tell the difference if we didn't have one or the other, right? If there was no light, then everything would be dark, and if there was no dark, then everything would be light. But we have those opposites, and they balance each other out. And we have to realize that, as much as we may feel sad, as much as we may feel happy, there's the opposite that can come into place, and it won't stay as one for very long. Things can change very quickly, and it's all about our perspective. And this is a new beginning. We've got some signs of peace. We also have signs of war and success. And we've got a really strong hand there coming out of a dark cloud. So, and it's very gray in this. So there could be some battles ahead, but in the end, I think you will be victorious. And these are likely internal battles rather than external. Could be some external, of course. There's always, when there's kind of tumultuous energy within us, we kind of manifest tumultuous situations outside of us. So just really be cognizant and aware of what's going on within you, and try to breathe and just relax when you're having those times when you're feeling like frustrated or annoyed and irritated. These things happen. We all feel this way, and you will be okay. And in the end, you will be successful, happy, victorious. This is a good card. This is balanced. It's really good. This is positive, sunny, beautiful. Okay, pile number 3, there's a reading. Thank you so much for joining me. I would appreciate if you give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you subscribe and click the notification button, you will get a message in your inbox, and I think in YouTube as well when I post a new video. If you want to share this with somebody that may enjoy it, that would be great. And otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Bye. Love you guys.